Episode 6 of Snowpiercer Season 3 starts with Pike awakening from a bad dream. After the attempt on Layton's life, he's still alive, and the bomb blast hasn't killed him. However, Layton wants everyone to join him in Big Alice, including Pike. Layton organizes traffic, still believing that Pike is solid and not compromised. He watches Zara and Layton from afar as they cradle their new baby. The whole train is abuzz with news of the bombing, as Ruth heads down to see Roche, who's still locked up. He refuses to tell the psychologist what they want to hear, admitting that he's consumed by thoughts of revenge and determined to kill Wilford the next chance he gets. The longer you feel this way, the longer he wins, Ruth says grimly, eventually leaving him in lockup. However, his daughter Carly does show up later in the episode, pleading with her father to come home. While this is going on, Till starts to do the rounds and pieces together who's responsible for the bomb. She realizes that 2 bricks are missing, with a possibility that tailies have smuggled in materials. This gives her the next place to examine. Till soon learns that fertilizer bomb was used, with the pages for the recipe ripped out of the book. Now, only those on the Taily War Council would even know where the book is, meaning Layton has a big problem. The suspect list is short, and Layton realizes that Pike is responsible. Layton chases Pike down the train, but the latter blindsides him before continuing to race through the carriages. Layton refuses to make this public, given it could make Pike hostile, as Till works with the brakeman to set up checkpoints to try and stop Pike. Along these checkpoints, Ruth finds out that Pike is the bomber. She heads into Pike's chambers, where she finds Layton searching his belongings. He gravely holds up the ripped bits of paper from the recipe book, confirming that he's the bomber. Pike, though, finds himself in the company of a Shaw, who's holding up in the depths of the train. Ruth catches up with the pair after they've had a chance to chat, urging Pike to turn himself in and be done with this madness. Pike refuses, and also refuses to answer whether he's doing all this for Ruth. The group deduce that the best way to settle this is to go old school. Specifically, they're going to suggest old Ivan's way to resolve this conflict. This is a Taily tradition that sees 2 individuals discuss and resolve their issues face to face. If it can be settled peacefully, it could result in a one-on-one fight to the death. Alone, Pike sits down with Layton, who asks him what he wants. Pike bitterly retorts how much power he has and demands justice for the tale. Layton blasts back and offers up a position of godfather for Leanna if he wants, eager to put the past behind them. However, Pike brings up the New Eden lie and demands knives be drawn. There's no going back. Layton doesn't have a choice, realizing that if he doesn't do this, then it could result in the whole train learning about his lie. As the pair fight, Layton stabs Pike and kills him. "I hope you find it frozen," Pike whispers before passing away. It's a crushing loss for the train, with Layton deciding to stay with Pike that night. However, Layton experiences visions and eventually passes out. Is Pike dead? Why does he try to kill Layton? Upon Layton's announcement, Pike accepts his invitation and comes to the tale to resolve the predicament with Layton. When Layton tries to settle the matter by offering luxuries, Pike stands with his principles. He makes it clear that he isn't someone Layton can just buy. When Layton becomes the leader of the Snowpiercer, Pike starts to feel inferior. He begins to resent the fact that Layton is trying to control the fate of all the passengers based only on his reasons and wish. The power and authority Layton exerts on others, including Pike, pave the way for his enmity towards his former brother-in-arms. Pike's suspicions regarding New Eden increase his motivation to see the end of Layton's reign. When a Shaw's slip-up regarding her former life confirms his suspicions, Pike becomes determined to see the death of Layton, and he asks for knives rather than a verbal discussion. However, Layton ends up victorious in the knife fight. He fights and eventually stabs Pike, killing him. Pike's death gives Layton a chance to stick with his New Eden story, at least till the Snowpiercer arrives at the Arabian warm spot. Pike's impulsiveness paved the way for his eventual death. Rather than giving Layton a chance to speak and convince him as a brother, Pike followed his instinct, which led him to his own death. Is Layton dead or alive? When Pike demanded a knife fight, Layton wasn't in a condition to fight him physically. Although the explosion affects his head, Layton was forced to fight Pike for his own life. During the fight, Pike targeted Layton's head by hitting him repeatedly. After paying respects to Pike's body, Layton suffers from visions and pain, only to fall down. Even though Layton's physical condition is a matter to worry about, the after effect of the explosion and the hurt inflicted by Pike isn't severe enough to kill him. Since he pushes his body for the investigation and strenuous fight with Pike, Layton may have passed out due to exhaustion rather than dying. Since Layton possibly passes out in the tale, we can expect Josie to find and take him to Dr. Pelton. Under Pelton, Layton may recover completely soon. Even though he escapes death during the fight with Pike, Miss Audrey's desire to see Wilford back as the leader may turn out to be a deadly predicament for Layton. If Pike had exposed Layton into Shaw's life prior to his death, Layton's life will not be as secure as he assumes. Snowpiercer returns with an emotionally charged episode, one that sees Pike meet an untimely end, and all roads leading to New Eden and potential doom. It was perhaps inevitable that this conflict was going to end with both Layton and Pike fighting, given last week's bomb blast, but seeing Pike killed off like this is a bit disappointing. In fact, this season has felt a little directionless at times, with many of these episodes just meandering through episodic conflicts and chewing up time until the big reveal of New Eden. With only 4 episodes left, it's becoming increasingly likely that this will be held off for the finale. While this chapter works to show just how far these characters have come, it also highlights some problems with the scripting. Pike's character turn and descent into madness feels a tad contrived. However, Roche too is suffering badly, and his lust for revenge could well be his undoing. Whether he'll be let out this season or even attempt to kill Wilford again remains to be seen. Either way though, Snowpiercer leaves everything open as we continue to chug along to New Eden.